Hey, it's Candace, and today we're going to do a beginner talk on growing carrots. You can see I've got two hoops in here. I don't really need them. I'll explain it why I've got them, but while we're filming, I'm just going to take this one out, okay? Carrots are an absolutely lovely crop to grow. They're quick, they're finicky. I was going to say they're easy, but they're not. They're finicky. That's why I'm doing this little show here for you. They like really nice loose soil. If you've got sandy soil, hey, they're going to love you. It doesn't mean that you can't grow them in rocky soil or soil that's got a whole lot of debris in it with your wood chunks and stuff. It simply means that you're not going to get pretty carrots. You're going to get the weird carrots that have got 2 legs, 3 legs, they curve off and do odd looking things, but they're going to taste just fine, you guys. What you want to do with your carrots, with your soil rather, is just make sure it's nice and debris free. You can rake it out with your fingers. You can make sure that if you've got a whole bunch of big chunky pieces of wood, they're not really going to bother your carrots a whole lot, but if you don't like them, and like I said, you don't want forked carrots, pitch them. There are several different types of carrots that you can get. I've only got 3 here. This is a Nantes coreless. It grows to about 6 or 7 inches long. They're really crunchy, really juicy. I love them. This one is called Little Fingers, and it's really good if you have kids that are just starting to grow things in pots. You can just use a small window box with these because they only grow to about 3 inches long, which is about the length of your finger. So it's going to be really easy. You can get them to grow it with radishes, because the radishes come up within about a month, so they get some fast results. And by the time the radish comes out, the carrots are just starting to bulk up, so they get to share the space. This one is called Flyaway. A lot of people like that if they're growing their carrots in the ground fairly low, and they're bred to resist a pest that's called the carrot rust fly. These guys lay their eggs, they go into the soil, the larvae come out, and they burrow into your carrots. They make these unattractive holes. They eat your carrots from the inside out. Just not nice. It just kind of ruins your whole crop. One of the reasons I don't have to use these all the time is because my bed is about 18 inches tall. Carrot rust flies typically only grow, they can only fly about 2 feet tall, or 2 feet high, sorry. And so if they can't get up into my bed, I don't really have to worry about them laying eggs and burrowing in. But like I said, if you have to worry about that, use the Flyaway or pick your favorite carrot and put your hoops in. You can put your row cover over top, secure it all along the edges. When the carrot rust fly is out, it'll stop them from getting in, okay? That's why I had the hoops there. Now, carrots are finicky. They're picky, and they are super, super tiny. So one of the things that works really, really well is to get your bed all ready. And then you're going to wet it. You want your soil nice and moist. It's really wet under here because I've done this already. But it's a little bit breezy, so the top part dried out. And that's one of the reasons why this method I'm going to show you works so well, is because you use a board and it's going to stop the soil from drying out so much. You can take your board, you put it on the soil, you press down a little bit, just so you're making a little bit of an indentation. And that just helps. Oh, this is a good thing. If you can see, there's a little indent here. That's why using the board and pressing it down works, because when you water, or if it was to rain really hard, because the seeds are so teeny tiny, they get washed away and you'll have a whole little clump of carrot seeds in one spot, and then you're going to have to thin them. So you've more work with fewer results because you've had to throw those carrots away. But, so that just shows me where my carrot seeds are going to go. I'm going to do the Nantes. And with these, you're just going to take them And it's hard to do, you guys. But all you're going to do is try to put one seed, about one every 1.5 inches, 2 inches, and then just press it down into the soil. It is really hard to just get one seed. So you probably are going to have to, woohoo, let's have a party over here. You're going to have to thin them. Some people will broadcast them, which is fine. It just means you are going to have to thin them. And so, like I said, you're just going to poke them in. You don't have to cover them. And when the whole row is done, you're going to take the board and you're just going to put it back on top. You're going to make sure that it's got good contact, and you're going to leave it there. After about 5 or 6 days, you can come and take a look, pick it up, see if any of them are sprouting. If they are, take the board off. They're going to need to get the sun so they can photosynthesize and get growing, okay? If it consistently rains out and we get heavy storms, you don't have to worry about it, because the soil around here is going to soak up the water and your seeds are going to be protected. If it's a really, really sunny, hot time when you're doing this, then take your watering can and water around the outside edges. Or you can use the really light spray that I had going, and you can water them that way. You just don't want to dislodge all your seeds from where they're growing. It can take up to 2 weeks for these things to sprout, so don't be impatient. I always say wait 5 or 6 days. You know tomorrow I'm going to come out and I'm going to check, make sure everything's going okay. But you know, that's the way to do it. I have used cardboard on top too, which works just fine. You just have to make sure that it stays wet, because it does dry out fairly quickly if you're doing this on a lovely hot summer day. Wood seems to work really, really well. And that is it for carrots. Thanks.